So lads, today we're going to be talking about potential fever draft pick who looks to be hurt. So obviously this is Chloe Kitts. Chloe Kitts is going to be in and around that 10th pick for the Indiana Fever. I don't know if Chloe Kitts is the right pick. I think a lot of people are... I'll be going over so many potential fever draft picks as time goes on. I think a lot of people, when they're talking about Chloe Kitts, they are basically looking at Chloe Kitts as a potential because she can shoot the midi. It's one of those things in Staley's system, like she's not shooting that many threes. I just want to see what is her actual percentage from three for her college career, because I don't think it's that high. But she is spotted now in a leg brace, and it does appear that Chloe Kitts is injured. It appears that she is injured, which is not ideal at all. As you can see, she is there in a leg brace. And that's not ideal. That is not ideal at all, because she's somebody that very much, like, she's kind of an undersized four, but like for her career, yeah, she's a 33% three-point shooter, does not shoot many of them at all. So it's kind of hard to judge how she's going to be on volume. I think whether or not she ends up in the top 5 or 6 in the draft all just depends on that volume and a three-point shot. It just depends on how many she shoots. And like even if she shoots a higher volume at like 28%, I'm happier with that than a low volume at like 35%. But as you can see in mock drafts here, she is being mocked around 9, 10. If we're being completely honest, like this mock draft is ridiculous. There's no way Awafam falls to 6. There's no way Gianna Niepkins goes 7 at whatever. Should be 24. Will she be nearly 24 years old, or should be 20? Oh yeah, 23. Yeah, I think this is age's time of the draft. But like for me, like there's no way the Mystics would take a Chloe Kitts when someone like Kiki Rice is available. So like this draft, and again, free agency needs to happen before the draft. But this is not ideal for South Carolina. Because South Carolina, look, they're going to be good this year. Be real good. Like when you add Tanaya Latson, who averaged 25.2 points per game last year. When you add Tanaya Latson, and when the one thing you were missing last year was size, and then Okok comes in, who's again projected to be there or thereabouts a first round pick. I don't think do Tankathon have her as a first round pick. They do not. But she's like late first, early second round pick projected. When you add in potentially 2 first round picks to a team that's already pretty good, she's going to be a big player. And I think it's going to be important that she's going to be important for that team. But at the end of the day, like this is a team that still has you basically lost. Like Ashlyn Watkins didn't play in the postseason last year. She was injured. So it's a team that got to the finals. The team you beat, or a team that beat you, has lost Paige Bueckers. Whereas you've lost Tahina Paupau, Bree Hall, and Mylasia Fulwiley, but gained Tanaya Latson and Okot. So I'm pretty sure it just means Joyce Edwards comes in as a starter. Like Tessa Johnson's still there. One of Joyce Edwards. You probably start Raven Johnson, Joyce Edwards. Tanaya Latson's not coming to sit on the bench. And then you probably find some way of... You probably start Joyce Edwards at the 4 to start the year if Chloe Kitts is injured. And Okot playing at the 5. And probably ends up being... Will probably be Chloe Kitts starting with... I wonder if they'll go small ball, or they'll probably send Tessa Johnson to the bench. Either way, like, there's a lot of seniors on this team. This is a team that's like that they've really gotta be good this year. But I think overall they are very much in a position to succeed. However, for Chloe Kitts, like her draft stock can fall massively. Like if she starts off the season injured and has a bad start to the year, like we could potentially see her being like falling into the 2nd or 3rd round in the draft. Maybe not. It's 15 teams, so maybe not the 3rd round, but we could see her fall massively in the 2nd round. Like Tahina Paupau went 18th last year. Pau Pau was projected. There were stages during her college season that people had mocked Tahina Pau Pau at 3. Like, she was being mocked to the Chicago sky by a lot of people. Cheyenne Sellers was being mocked at 3 as recently as a week before the draft and went 17th. So this year's draft is not quite like that, because let's be real, last year's draft, second round of last year's draft, KK Timpson, Kosu for upside. What was it? KK Timpson, Kosu. Then you had obviously Tahina Pau Pau, Lucy Olsen. There were so many great players, and like, in my opinion, Lucy Olsen's as good as Gianna Neepkins. Like, I think I would have put Lucy Olsen and Gianna Neepkins on a similar level last year coming into the senior seasons. Gianna Neepkins just took a super senior season. So, yeah, that would be my opinion on it all. That she's not going to fall that much, purely because, she's not going to fall that much because at the end of the day, the draft is nowhere near as stacked as last year's. Like, this year is kind of a down year in the draft. Like, this year is very top heavy. This year's top 5 might be probably going to be better than last year's top 5, but it's very, very top heavy. And after 6, like the top 6 picks, after 6, there's a huge gap. A huge gap. And anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. To be fair, last year they said it was a 2-person draft, and then there were 2 All-Stars not in that 2 people, so you just never know. But like, when you've got 2027 draft, which is still good, like Madison Booker, Michaela Williams, Malaysia Full-Wiley, like that's still a really, really good draft class. And I still think Zhang Zhu's an interesting prospect to take, because she might be one of those players that plays 6 minutes a game and gives you 10 points in those 6 minutes, but also gives up 8 on the other end. So like, she might be like an equivalent of like a special teams player. Her point, like, she's going to be like the Boban, the PER king. But you've got that, and then at the same time, you've got the 2028 WNBA draft, which is going to be the best draft in history. And that includes 2024. Yes, Caitlin Clark might be better than every player in this draft, but I'm sorry, when you have Sarah Strong, Juju Watkins, Michaela Blakes, Silas Swords, Toby Fournier, all these players, and then whatever international players, it's too young really to think about international players in 2028, but because they're all 15. Whatever players come in through that, like that's going to be the greatest draft class of all time. Like, a draft class where Juju Watkins might, like, there is a world where Juju Watkins falls to 3. Any draft class where that actually could happen. That being said, if 2024 had its actual draft class and Paige Bueckers was in there, then we're not talking about. We're not making that, like, and if Cam Brink didn't get injured and if she lives up to her potential with Angel Reese, like, we're absolutely not, we're not saying it will be better. And at the same time, like, 2024 still has to prove itself to be better than 2019 with and 2019 was seen as like a really bad draft at the time. And 2019 produced Fee, Jackie Young, Arike Agumbawale, Marina Mabry. Did Jess Shepard go in 2019? Alana Smith went in 2019. Like, it is like it's so stacked. 2013 as well, when you had the top 3 of Deladon, Griner, and Skyler as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That's the video. I'll see you guys.